Speaking of 2 points back, lo and behold, how about those Winnipeg Jets?
How about the Winnipeg Jets? Winnipeg Jets are, here's my math, Timmy, off to the best start in franchise history. Ho-hum.
Yeah.
Jets beat the Wild last night. 15th win in 24 games, marking the fastest Winnipeg's ever reached the 15-win mark to start a campaign.
Okay.
Minnesota jumped out to, this is to me the craziest part of the night.
Right.
Jets were down 2-0.
2-0.
Right?
Then
Winnipeg responded with a fury and a thunder not seen since other blowouts this season by different teams.
dare I say, not seen since Teemu Selanne roamed the ice.
Oh, there was a lot of this
With the
last
Queen
night.
looking
There was a lot
over
of
it.
this with the Queen. I shouldn't do that anymore. The Winnipeg Jets responded with 7 unanswered goals by 7 different players.
Did you do this?
All hail the Queen. I did that one. Okay. You didn't see. He did the same thing.
Off a stick, big save. Rebound, score! Wheeler crisscross, score! Shifley in for Trouba, scores! In for Perreault, scores! Wheeler takes it in on Stalock, score! Sherratt deflected, score! Brian Lowe. Here comes Wheeler. Cross ice, score! And the Jets have matched their season high.
2 things. 1, shout out old friend Dennis Bayak,
Yeah.
one of the pros in our industry. Love Dennis. 2, the Jets have the 3rd best record right now in the National Hockey
The
League.
NHL.
NHL.
The NHL.
Behind the Blues and Lightning. Tim, is there any question right now the Winnipeg Jets are the best team in Canada?
I feel like we've had this I've brought this conversation to the meeting a bunch of times. I don't know if it's actually made the show.
It's a tough meeting.
But I have brought it to the meeting several times
Tough
this
to break
year.
through that meeting, Tim.
I believe that the Winnipeg Jets, maybe the Calgary Flames when Mike Smith is playing goaltender, although the same thing could be said about the Jets because when Connor Hellebuck's in that, they are, 13-2-2?
Yeah.
Is Connor Hellebuck on the year? One of those 2 teams, like I said earlier, is going to win the West. And when they have that number 1 goaltender in there, they are tough to beat. And the Winnipeg Jets, after all the being and moaning from everyone, coast to coast, and specifically in Winnipeg, dare I say, the patience shown by Kevin Cheveldayoff is starting to pay off for these Winnipeg Jets. Everyone wanted him to make the move to shuffle the deck and do the things that you're supposed to do when you panic after not making the playoffs. And all those players that people wanted to chip and cut from and who fits there and where and the defense maybe isn't good enough, the patience with a young team that is never shown in this day and age in the National Hockey League or any other pro sport for that matter is starting to pay off for the Winnipeg Jets. Is it not?
Starting to pay off, correct. I'll speak for that Jet fan watching. You still can't pay everybody eventually. You still will have to make a move. So why not maybe at this year's deadline if you think you are the best team in the Western Conference?
I didn't say anything about this year's deadline. I'm saying all these pieces are putting you in the position to succeed right now. And Kevin Cheveldayoff took a ton of heat for standing pat. He got rid of Evander Kane.
Yeah.
Had to make a choice in that locker room.
I didn't think he was going to get an extension.
Right?
Yeah.
It was, and a lot of people
extension.
question Paul Maurice's extension. But they made a commitment to develop with their younger players. They stuck to that commitment. And now, dare I say, in a world in 2017 where people are screaming for instant results all the time, has their patience paid off? Yes or no?
It has. I believe it has.
We'll wait till the playoffs. We'll judge as we go along.
If they get there.
And some of those, yeah.
They're going to get there.
And we'll judge at the deadline because you're right. The windows in the NHL have shrunk because of the salary cap, but they're in a great spot right now. And damn if anyone can prove they're not Canada's best team.
But even considering, and I'll disagree with my own point here. The history of Kevin Cheveldayoff you have to trade guys at some point, right?
Yeah.
Why not this year if you think you're close?
Okay.
But that's not Cheveldayoff's MO.
No.
It just isn't. I don't care how many restricted guys are coming up. I don't care what you think of the Trouba contract. Kevin Cheveldayoff is not that kind of GM to just kind of go all in with a team that, let's also be fair, but that still has not won a playoff game since moving back to
Not
Winnipeg.
one.
So let's not act as if they are Western Conference Finals bound, because we really don't know. What we do
Let's
know.
not even act like they can build on this. I mean, you have to use those assets. That's the point of the
Yeah.
salary cap, right? And that's, I think, the point. Maybe I'll make your point for you.
Please do.
Right? Like, you have your assets, you have those players that are valuable to others, and you have to continue that momentum. Because to go from 0 wins in the postseason to all of a sudden making a run through the Western Conference might be a lot to ask.
Yeah.
Right? But,
I agree.
But they are as good as anyone in the West right now.
They're getting solid goaltending, better than solid goaltending.
Do you believe
they're
in the St.
scoring?
Louis
They're
Blues?
scoring with every team. I mean, right now they're
You don't
they're hard
believe in
to hit.
Vegas.
No, Vegas.
You
is
might
gonna-
believe in
I'm
St.
not-
Louis.
I don't believe in Vegas. You know why? Because eventually teams will have
LA?
teams will have curfews going into Vegas and they'll figure them out.
Right.
Everyone's going in there getting blottoed and then showing up and it's like, what are we doing? What are we? Oh, Golden Knights. The Twitter account goes crazy. Come on, we all know what's going on with Vegas. Have a curfew. Have a curfew. All right. Don't go to the old Wild Bill Saloon.
Yeah, that's where they're
That's
going.
not where they're going.
That's where they're going.
No,
Yeah.
Old Vegas is underrated though. I like Old Vegas.
Forget Aria. They're going to.
Aria.
Did you say Blotto?
Nope.
You did.
When's the last time you heard Blotto in his statement?
Otto. Otto, the bus driver on The Simpsons,
No.
used to say,
Ja-
"I'm Otto,
James
and I
agrees
like
with
to
you
get
behind camera
Blotto."
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Is it I need a new thing. Yeah, if I made a Simpsons reference, I need new stuff.